Hello, everybody, and welcome to In the Room with Trafalgar Law, another new episode of our amazing series that's now weekly. Haha!
You gonna guarantee that?
No. My name is Scarface King, joined today by Mr. Teacups.
Hello there.
And we're going to be talking about the hot topic right now, Ore Collection. There's a lot of things we want to talk about, but this is the first proper sit down we've got to record a lot of videos since, all the craziness died down. So we want to talk about what's going right, what's going wrong, what we'd like to see in the future, and obviously people know a lot of my opinion. If you've been watching the stream, you've been watching my videos, you know a lot of my opinions on the game. I think I want you to get us started.
Oh, really?
Get us in, tell us what you like about the game, and then get us rolling.
Oh, okay. Well, it's a good game, and then well, as you guys already know, Rob was very hyped for this game. He put a lot of information out there. If you see in the communities, he's very active with spreading the information that I would consider myself just a casual player at the moment. I haven't played it as much as him. I'm nowhere near the same level as him, but I've been playing it. I've done some videos and that, and I was looking forward to it because I like these type of games where you get characters from all series and that. Back in the day, I like loads of fighting games and that when loads of series came together and that you always get the best of everything really. And I was looking forward to it, and I was really, how do I put it, skeptical, when these new games drops and that, because you don't want to get overhyped for them because they might just turn out bad. Like, we kind of got hyped for Kenshin and it kind of turned out to be a really average game. Boku no Hero Academia is a good game, but it's just lacking content at the moment. So I wasn't trying to get too hyped, but my first impressions when downloading the game were very good. Like, this game presents itself so well, especially when you get to the tutorial pool. You could choose what generation you want to do your tutorial pool from the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, 2000s, 2010s. I really like that it looked good in that. But once you actually get into the game, it presents itself so well. You don't have to be over the top in that, but you need a certain level of presentation to actually look good. Like, if you look at a game like Kenshin, it's really bland, it's not visually appealing, and it's quite boring. But this game, you log in, there's just colours everywhere, there's characters. When you get to your home screen, that look like Shonen Jump magazine with all your characters on it. That's goddamn gorgeous, I do have to say that. But just everything in general about this game, the artwork is just top notch. Like, we talk about the gameplay itself, all the characters at the moment can be 5-star, and obviously they're worth different artworks as they go through rarity and that looks gorgeous and that. But in the game itself, each character has their own attack animation, and they actually have their own specials in that as well that goes into the scenes from the manga panels, and that looks god damn gorgeous. I'm not usually a fan of these scenes type of things in these gacha games and that, but this game does it right. From the manga panels and that, how well it's animated, it looks absolutely gorgeous. So in terms of presenting it, it just hits all the high notes. It's such just a fun and energetic game to play at the moment and that. But obviously, if I have to think of stuff as well, it's just down to gacha game at the moment. It's designed to make money. The characters are out there to draw you to pull on this game, and that's one of the main things I really love about it at the moment. The game just has so much potential. Some games in that really struggle with who to put on their banner and that. If you look at Boku no Hero Academia right now, they got a new banner out where it's a new support character that no one really cares about, and it doesn't attract me to pull on it. But this game, 1 week they may have a new Luffy, next week they may have a new Goku or a new character from a new anime. There's so much potential here of what they can have, because Shonen Jump, absolutely massive, so many series in that out there, and at the moment, it's you go in at the moment, I did a multi-pool the other day, and there's just so many characters available in this game right now. It's got more than some gacha games have been out for 2 years, so there's so much variety, there's so many different teams you can get. I'm not too into the team building at the moment. I really just use my most powerful unit so far, and that's doing well for me at the moment. So I'm not really going to talk in terms of gameplay yet, because I don't really know what my opinion stands on the gameplay. It's different, I would say that. Your characters, they kind of auto-attack, and you manage their specials and their abilities and stuff like that, boosting attack and defense and stuff like that. It is different. I don't know if it's the best out there, but it's certainly not the worst. And really, I don't know really what else to say at the moment. The story mode, there's so much they can do with it. I don't really know how the story really flows at the moment. It's kind of, because obviously I can't speak Japanese, it kind of just has a load of scenes from certain different animes and that. I'm on a chapter right now of Dio from JoJo. Then the next chapter might be you fighting Sasuke or someone from Naruto, something like that. I think it's really interesting. Stories in terms in this game and that could just go on forever. They could just release story mode content onwards and onwards. It's with Bleach, that's kind of getting to the point where they fully catch up with the manga and stuff like that. So they get to the point where they're running out of content. this game could probably go on forever, and I think that's really actually cool. And obviously, there's a lot of potential with the extra island there. They could do so many different raids, so many different like Fortnite. I don't know how they do Fortnites and that. I guess just like little mini chapters. Like one week they could have like you're battling, I don't know, the Pillarmen from JoJo as an extra island. Next week you're battling, I don't know, Menos Grande from Bleach. I think there's so much potential there as well. And really, I don't know what else I could say. Like the leveling system in terms of collecting the scenes and that. Like I was talking to this with Robert earlier, and I think it might just be me going crazy, but I feel like there was a gacha game out there that had a sort of leveling system like this, where you had to like not necessarily gain XP from doing missions and that, but like collect something. I don't really know, so I'm not really gonna stay on it forever. But the leveling system's a little bit different. I like how it does encourage you to actually pull for the scenes and that, because to be honest, with the games that have done these scene system in the past, like Diamond Records, Thousand Storm, it personally doesn't really appeal to me in that, because I prefer the characters in that. But the way this game does it does it well. I like, for starters, that the currency for the scenes in that is separate from your shonen spears, whatever the fuck they're called, your pay to play currency in that.
Jump orbs.
Jump orbs, there you go. I like that it's separate in that, because obviously if they were combined in this game, like you actually had to spend these jump orbs to buy the scenes in that, I would never buy scenes at all. So I like that you could get it through free to play. Like you only got to do sometimes you get lucky if your end of stage bonuses, which I do like as well. The end of stage bonuses is a real neat addition that I'm surprised not a lot of other games do. You could get like a scene after every run if you're lucky, but usually it's every 2 to 3 runs and that helps you level up in the long run. So I think that's a very unique system to itself, and it does encourage you to go with the scenes and that. And I love how much effort they put into the scenes, because some of these games so far, especially the JoJo and that, it's kind of just like a picture of the scene. This game, if you pull a 5-star, like I've only got one 5-star at the moment, it's the one you get for free, which is like the Dragon Ball one with the summoning Shenron. It's gorgeous. Like it's absolutely gorgeous when they're summoning and that. So like I'm into it. I'm actually into the scenes with this game, and I think this game's just got so much content at the moment, and the future is just bright. Like, I don't really know where to go from there. As a casual player, I haven't fully got through the story mode yet. I know Robert has. He's completed the whole story, and he's farming to get all his 5-stars and that. But at the moment, I could definitely see myself playing this game as much as I do One Piece Treasure Cruise or a Dokkan Battle. It can really rival those big boys.
Okay, well, I just basically sat back and let Terry gush there for like 6 minutes about how awesome the game is. Now, I'm going to try and be a little bit more critical, because everyone watching the stream will know I've been just going on and on about how much I love this game, but it's not perfect. Of course, it never is. And so I'm going to go over some of the things that I think maybe aren't quite what they should be. So I'm a little bit confused by the level up mechanic. Like, what is the value of leveling up other than you get stamina up? Like, you get the stamina increase, sure, but then other than that, there's no tangible reason to level up. In Naruto, you need the extra team cost. True. Otherwise you're fucked. You've got 1 6-star and then no one else in your team, and that's it. So all it really is for leveling up your stamina bar, as far as I can tell. If that wasn't the case, I would be absolutely against the current system, because you rely. How can you make leveling up rely totally on RNG? That seems so dodgy. I know a lot of people have had quite good luck with the scene pools. I'm currently around 160 unique scenes, but I've probably pulled about 250 scenes total, and I've got about 100 dupes. I would say around there.
Well, do you need unique scenes to level up, or is it
you need unique scenes to level up?
Oh, I didn't realise that.
And if you get a dupe scene, it just goes in the bin. You get some coins for it. That's it. You don't go up a number underneath your thing. It just goes straight in the bin. To me, that's a little bit rough. But I suppose if all it is for leveling up your stamina bar, it's not too bad. Because if it was like Naruto and I'm sitting there with a whole fucking box of 6-stars or 5-stars or whatever, and I just physically cannot make the team I want to make, then I'd be fucking pissed off. I really would. But so far, that's not much of an issue. But I feel like later could be an issue if they don't start adding in scenes. It's gonna kind of limit how far you can actually go on this game. They fully are in control of that. It's almost like there's a tangible level limit. As for the summons, I do have one problem with that. Everyone seems so happy that every character can be a 5-star. The problem is, when a game is being too generous, it stops being generosity and it starts being them being stingy. And what I mean by that is, if you make Ichigo and Goku and Gon and Midoriya and Jonathan all 5 stars, that's great. But they are free. I get given those for free just for playing story mode. So when I pulled them, I'm not exactly happy about that. So in that last summon video where I pulled like 4 Ichigos when I already have a 5-star Ichigo, I wasn't exactly happy about that either. I know you can limit break the characters, and yeah, that's great. But that brings me on to another problem I have, which is farming the pens. I know all these things are supposed to be a grind. That's the whole point. It's supposed to be a grind. You know, all the other games do it. So I can't be too harsh on them for doing this. But at the start of the game, the only thing to do is farm. I've already completed story mode, sure. So like once you've done story mode, I'm talking about, you know. Once you've done story mode, once you've done the tower, Versus Battle isn't out yet. We don't exactly know what that's going to be like. We're getting like the beta version of that. I say soon, it will most likely be out by the time this video goes out. I'm going to be realistic about how long this is going to take to edit. So bear in mind, a lot of things we talk about here may well change by the time this video's out. But once you get past all that stuff, right, all I realistically have left to do is farm my 2-star, 3-star, 4 stars up into 5 stars. And that takes a lot of coins. It takes a lot of fodder. I say fodder, like dumbbells. And, you know, the reward doesn't seem that high. Sacrificing a 5-star Ichigo for like 2 extra levels, I don't think you really get much more than that anyway. And the money management, well, I tried to farm the Money Island a decent amount when it came out at the weekend, and then it got into the week and I started leveling up Goku's skill, and I got to level 8, and it costs 100k.
Oh.
100k for 1 level, and it's not even the top level. Now I know there's a lot of like whales we've seen out there. You'll see them on like the guest list and that with level 10 skills and whatnot. Those guys can carry you through the fucking game. I'm not gonna lie. Right now, there's basically nothing you can't beat without a couple of decent units, 5-star with a level 10 skill. Like, you could probably beat the entire game with just 3 units, no support. But my problem is that I'm not a whale. I'm willing to spend orbs on stamina, but I'm not willing to farm the Money Island for the entire day using up all my orbs just to make sure that I can get somebody's skill up. To me, that's a bit much. That's a little bit much. And I require a lot of foresight and a lot of planning just to get their skills up. And I know it's rewarding at the end because it's super powerful, but God does it annoy me. So, obviously every game, the grindy nature sometimes gets on my nerves. Dokkan has that in fucking spades. If you want, you could spend the whole fucking year farming up your LR Goku. And the reality is, he's only okay. He's only okay. Like, when the new meta comes out, he might not even be, like, relevant. Like, he hits hard, but is it worth the effort? Really? Is it really worth the effort? Couldn't you just replace him with any shitty tech SSR and just throw them in your team? I don't know. Maybe I'm just a skeptic when it comes to that sort of thing, but I'm just like, you know what? I don't think it's worth it. And, you know, it's the same on Naruto. This weekend I've been farming up Ido Tensei Asuma, trying to get him to ultimate max, you know, where you've got the max luck, the max level, and the max abilities, and the max pills, right?
Mm-hmm.
And do you know how long that takes?
A long time.
But it's still, like, it still takes less time than farming up all the money, all the materials, and, like, copies I need, or the dumbbells and shit, that I need for my characters to get them max. And I know it's a little bit different because the characters in this game that are 5 stars are the top tier at the moment. But how long is that going to be true? I know Asuma's like a pile of shit. I don't, like, most people probably don't even care about him in the game. Like, he's not even that good. But I only like to farm him because he's like one of my favourite characters, so whatever. But in this game, you know, a lot of these characters are my favorite characters. And if I were to farm up a whole red team, my whole 5-star red team, even if it was free to play, even if I've got Toriko, Yusuke, Asta, Goku, and Ichigo, that's a free to play red team. And that team can just demolish, right? But to farm up everybody's skills and everybody, like, to get them up to 5-star and then farm up all their skills, do you know how much money that will cost? We're talking fucking millions of coins. How long do I have to farm this money island for?
For the rest of your life.
And that's not to mention the fucking panels you have to farm as well. But, you know, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. It's not even been a week.
Yeah, it's new.
So, like, everything I say is said out of, you know, the hope that these are just minor problems that will improve over time. I'm not trying to be harsh on the game because I am genuinely enjoying it despite what I'm saying. As for the gameplay, you know, I think you touched on it briefly, but I'll go into it. With the gameplay, at first I was kind of like, oh,
yeah,
is that it? Because, you know, just the nature of it, I was like, where's the auto button? Can I turn it off? No. There's no auto button. This is just the gameplay. And I think a lot of people had that initial reaction, and, you know, you can't be blamed for that because it's weird. It's different. Yeah, and, like, going into it at first, I was very skeptical. I've since then kind of seen the game, especially if you've played the tower, the game can actually be incredibly tactical. Like, you have to save certain specials for certain times, you know. Like, one of the stages I was really struggling with using Goku. Goku is my extreme strength lead. So I moved Goku out of the leader spot and put in Asta, my extreme defense strength lead. And, you know, by boosting the defense, I lasted a little bit longer, and that let me get Goku's special attack off twice. And that was the difference between me, you know, losing and me beating the stage, was because even though Goku was doing initially less damage, getting two super attacks off was more beneficial. So there is a tactical aspect to it, you know, especially with like some of the other special skills. You know, you've got healers, you've got characters like Asta who can buff your defense. You've got characters that can boost their own attack, stuff like that. So there's definitely a tactical aspect to it, and I do really enjoy that part of it. But coming into it and seeing it just attacking for me and me not doing anything, especially in the earlier stages where I didn't even have to hit the super buttons, I'll admit I was a little bit like, oh, they fucked up.
Yeah.
But since getting into it, since fighting some of the harder stages, I will admit it's different, but I do enjoy it. I'll give them that. I will give them that. As for content currently in the game, it's a little bit light. It's a little bit light. Story mode, there was maybe 2 stages that gave me a little bit of trouble, and that's because I used an all-red team. And, you know, even Cars, who has insanely high damage when he does his special attack, he killed 3 of my units in 1 hit, but I still won because my 2 support units hadn't taken any damage. But they just killed him by themselves. And, you know, the tower has proven like the most difficult, the most challenging, but, you know, there's only 30 stages at the moment. There's not a lot there. As long as they continue to update, give us more stages and stuff as we go along, you know, I'm happy. You know, the fact of the matter is, like, how often do we get story mode stages in Dokkan and One Piece? Like,
Every
in
month.
One Piece maybe every month. In Dokkan maybe every, like, fucking 3 months, something like that. So I'll forgive him. I'll forgive him for that.
For now.
You know, as long as they keep giving us content at a steady pace, and some of it is like genuinely challenging, I'm happy. But, you know, that's one of those things where it remains to be seen. They've got off to a good start. I do think they've got off to a good start, but it remains to be seen. Now, let's talk about my favourite subject, summons.
Oh.
Now, I love the animations.
Yeah.
I love them. They're so good. I'd like a little bit of a switch up, you know, like the panels that come up, like they've got the Luffy and the Goku doing a Kamehameha. Like, give me a little bit of switch up there. Keep it fresh, you know. Dokkan like to keep it fresh. You know, One Piece doesn't, but nobody likes One Piece.
Yeah, fuck that game.
Dokkan keeps it fresh with its summon animation, so maybe maybe do the same. You know, just a little teasy tip. As for the fact that you can get a rainbow and it's like or a gold or a silver, and you could still get a 5-star no matter what in a multi, I think that's dope. Because it keeps you guessing, it keeps you on your feet, and the fact that I could like pull it back, get a rainbow, and I have no idea which unit in the multi is going to be a rainbow, so that rainbow poster turns around and straight away it's a silver. I'm like, oh boy, what are we gonna get? And you know, I think that's probably my favorite thing about the summons. As for the characters themselves, the fact that I don't understand this. I don't understand this. The fact that they had 2 banners, right, come out with featured units on it, and all the featured units were the free-to-play units.
Yeah, it's a little bit weird.
Made no sense to me. Like, people were going crazy over it, and I was just like, but you get them all for free, though. I don't... Like, I get from their standpoint it makes sense, because money.
Yeah, true.
Like, if you want to pull Zoro, who's Gacha exclusive, you got to spend. You got to go in hard. But if you want Luffy, you get him for free anyway, but like... You know, you can just summon in 5-star and it makes your life easier. Or you can be like me and never summon Ichigo 5-star, but get him for free in 2-star, level him all the way up to 5-star, and then pull him in 4-star like 4 times. That was painful. I'll be honest, that was quite painful. I still think there's certain series that are very, very underrepresented in the gacha. Like, Hunter x Hunter getting 1 character is the one standout doesn't make sense to me. But even if we don't talk about Hunter x Hunter, like what's Dragon Ball got? It's got like Krillin and Yamcha, and that's it.
Best characters.
Well, and Goku obviously, but like I guess that makes sense if you're saying like, oh, early on in the series these are the only characters that he'd met, and I'd say, okay. So why isn't Leorio in the game? Because he was in wasn't he in like the first chapter of Hunter x Hunter, or like the second?
I don't know. I've never read it.
Well, you've never read it, but you know, and we've got like Kurama and Hiei and Kuwabara from Yu Yu Hakusho, as well as Yusuke. I love Yu Yu Hakusho, so I'm not mad about that. But can't every other game that get that kind of representation? Because that's basically Yusuke's whole squad. Like, he doesn't need anybody else in the game, really. He's set. They probably will add other characters later, and we still don't really know what's happening with villains. It looks like we're just not going to be able to play as villains, which I guess is okay.
It kind of sucks, though.
It kind of sucks. Like you said, you would like to see Kira, you would like to see, you know... Dio. A lot of the JoJo villains. And, you know, some of it is a little bit like, well, Sasuke's in there...
And he's a villain.
And I mean, he's like kind of a villain for most of it. And we're never going to get to play as Itachi or Madara or Orochimaru or Kabuto or Vegeta.
Yeah,
Of
true.
course, Vegeta becomes a friend later on, so he's fine.
Same with Uryu.
You know, yeah, same with Uryu, who becomes a friend later on, which is why we think Uryu's not in the game right now. Because he's part of Ichigo's squad. You literally just need to add Uryu in, and you've got his whole squad there. Like, fuck Rukia. Like, let's not talk about her. And let's not talk about fucking Ganju. Like, I ain't about that life. But, like, other than that, it's just Orihime, Chad, Ichigo, and fucking Uryu. Why isn't he in the game? Makes sense. There's a lot of characters you could say should just be in the game. And I really don't understand the series that only got 1 character. Like, some of them are really old, so I don't know them that well. I'm just like, is that the only character in the show? Is that the only good guy? You know, like, if it's like one of the more recent series and I've read it, then obviously I'm kind of like, oh, but this guy's missing, you know. Black Clover, I've only started reading because of this game. And I only read like the first like 10, 15 chapters, and I was like, so why isn't his like rival best friend guy in here? Like, you put Sasuke in for Naruto, so why wouldn't you put in this guy for Asta? I don't understand. I mean, it's an exact parallel. I don't understand at all. But I mean, I guess Naruto's one of the big boys, you know.
Oh, yeah, a little bit.
It's a little bit of favoritism. Now, I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to talk about and try and be like,
well,
as critical as possible.
Do you think they're gonna do like multiple banners at some point?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about that a lot before the game came out, because obviously we saw that teaser banner of Naruto and Luffy, and it had Luffy in Gear 2, and so we did ask the question, you know, that Luffy art not in the game, is that going to be added later? Is that going to be, like, potentially the first, like, 6-star festival, whatever the fuck character, exclusive 5-star, I don't know, or whatever? What are we going to see? And at the moment, the banners have been terrible. I'll be real with you, they've been terrible. I mean, the discounts are great. The discounts are fantastic. We get a free pull every day, and we get the, you know, 250 down to 125. And that's during the pre-registration where they're actually giving us stones. Don't be confused, that's probably not going to be happening after that. But, like, the hard reality is, eventually people are going to get a thirst for new characters, and you got to provide. And so I need to see a continual flow. Doesn't have to be like constant, it doesn't have to be like every week, but like maybe once a month, once every 2 months, add some new series to the game, and in the time in between that, add new characters from the series that are already in the game. Like we said this before, in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, in My Hero Academia, in Naruto, in Bleach, like all these series, how many characters, even if we just say good guys, how many characters could they add from each of those series?
A lot.
Like, it's actually insane. Like, you think about Naruto, okay, so we got Naruto, we got Sasuke, that's it at the moment, right?
Yep.
So start it just like off the top of my head. Sakura, as much as we're not a big fan, Sakura, all the teachers, so Might Guy, Kakashi, Asuma, Anko, don't remember her name with the red eyes. Who?
My favourite.
Oh yeah. And then, you know, you talk about the other kids in the class like Kiba, Tenten, Ino, Rock Lee, and then maybe like will Gaara count? I mean, he becomes a good guy later on. Like,
yeah.
At the start, he's kind of an asshole, but you know, later on, he's a cool guy. And what about like Sai? He comes in later on. You know, we're getting into Shippuden there, so maybe we should like reel it back in a little bit. You know, there's so many characters that could be added in. So you know, and that's the beauty of this game. That's how they're gonna make their money. But like, what are we gonna see? Is it gonna be like a banner each week? Is it gonna be a banner every 2 weeks? Is it gonna be a banner every month? How many characters are gonna be added in on each banner? Are the banners gonna have some kind of? This is getting into the thing we really want to talk about here. Are the banners? Are we going to see some kind of festival exclusive?
Yeah.
6-star, exclusive 5-star, whatever the fuck you want it to be. I don't really care. As long as it's some kind of exclusive unit that's cool and awesome. I know this game kind of built a lot of what it is around the fact that you can play as whichever character you like. Basically, every character in the game is useful. Every character in the game is powerful. But, like, the gameplay is very limited in what you can do like that. Like, say they want to keep every character, like, between a medium and extreme lead or whatever, and with certain abilities. Like, after a while, you'll just be able to beat everything with the same team. Like, my team with, like, Goku or Asta as the lead will beat everything in the game. So I have no reason to pull for new units. I'll get bored and I'll stop playing. That's, you know... I mean, you've really got to be careful with the power creep and the overpowered, like, fuck you characters. Dokkan just kind of hate their fans. Doesn't care. They just really don't give a shit. They're just like, you know what would be great? Let's release another Gogeta. But he's so much better than the old one that you want to fucking kill yourself. And then they're like, yeah, that's a good idea. Let's also do that with Gotenks. And he's like, that's good. And you know what? Let's do it with Janemba and Broly as well. And they're like, yeah. That's pretty good, actually. Let's actually make it. Let's make a Super Saiyan 3 Broly. But let's make him like look really good at first. But when you look closer, he's actually a pile of turd. And then they're like, That's good. That's good. Yeah, yeah, print that. And then all the cards come out and they're like, hey, this is shit. Let's make some new ones. And then they're just going to release a new meta next week. And you're going to be like, whoa, Super Saiyan fucking 6 Broly or whatever is the new, like, 190% God lead. Or some bullshit, I don't know. What I'm saying is, Dokkan doesn't care. And that's okay. That genuinely is okay. Because a game that, in a way, does care, we'll say One Piece, hates its fans, is very stingy, but cares about the meta, right? One Piece has been very, very even with the way they handle things, you know? Like, some of the oldest characters were still relevant up until recently. But then the change happened. Then we got Legend Akainu, and, like, characters like Akainu Fujitora, Timeskip Luffy, Zoro, Timeskip Zoro, that is. Sanji, even Enel, Nekomamushi that have come out recently. They're just, like, they're just better. They're just better. And with the right support, they are just so much better. Like, the damage output on a Strong World Shanks team, try comparing that to the damage output on, like, an Enel team. Or someone like that. It's not even in the same universe. But they're both legends. So how does that work? But the thing is, like, that's just how it is now. That's... the meta's shifted. They did it more slowly than Dokkan does it. But they still did it. And so if you're playing along with your fucking, like... you're that one guy that only ever pulled one legend. Oh boy, I've got my my Strong World Ace. He's the best in the game, guys. Best shooter team. If you're still sitting on that account, and you're pirate level fucking 600 now.
Free to play.
Free to play, with your reroll Strong World Ace account. You're probably struggling with some of the content right now. It's probably quite a lot of struggle.
What are you doing with your life?
But the thing is, you know, there are people like that. There are people that have had their accounts for a long time, have higher level accounts, have, you know, maybe one legend, maybe no legends, you know, and they're just excluded from the meta. There's like a door, and it says like, it basically says get out unless you have Timeskip Luffy. And it's
Give
like,
you money.
oh. And it's like, you know, you can go in the back door if you've got a Kainu, but that's it. And the thing is, yeah, there's a load of strong raid characters, but some of those raids you can't even fucking beat unless you've got, like, all these shitty fucking raid characters all maxed out from scratch. You basically have to spend the whole day farming, at which point you would say, well, it's not really free to play anymore because I'm spending all my orbs on stamina.
I think that's an argument for another time.
That's an argument for another time, yeah. But what I'm saying is, you know, whether a game cares about the meta or not, and whether it cares about its fans or not, the one thing they care about is money.
Oh, yeah.
They care about money, and when it comes to this game, don't think it's going to be any different. They want to make money. And so they've got to have some kind of exclusive unit. A unit that incentivizes summoning on their shitty banners that are full of free-to-play units. You know? Like, I could see them releasing a new batch of One Piece units and releasing, like, okay, guys, we've got 6-star Gear 2 Luffy, and with that 6-star Gear 2 Luffy, we're bringing out the Usopp, we're bringing out the Sanji, we're bringing out the Robin and the Frankie, and then maybe, like, Kaya, I don't know, like another couple of characters or whatever. And that's their way of beefing up that batch. And then they'll do the same for certain other characters and bring those in. We want to see exclusives. Trust me. You don't just want to sit on 5 stars for the rest of the game, because you'll get salty and bored after a while. That's just how it is. Moving on from that, onto another idea I had. I bounced off Terry a little while ago. He seemed to quite enjoy it. I want this game to have raids. I do. I want this game to have fortnights. I want this game to have an equivalent of training forests. Now we kind of had that on Dokkan with the is it called the Battle Rush or something, or the boss?
Yeah, Battle Rush. No, Boss Rush. Boss
Rush. I don't know. We had that come in, which straight away you get more stones on that for doing like 6 stages than you do for doing, like, what is it? How many training forests are there? Like 20?
Oh, on One Piece.
Yeah.
I think there's 12.
12. So 12 stages, 12 Dragonstones, and some boats. The boats are cool. On Dokkan, I think you get like 50 or something, 50 Dragonstones.
I think for the top difficult, yes.
Yeah, so like you get a lot of goodies for it. I want this game, I don't know what kind of reward we'd get. I don't know what kind of goodies we'd get for it. But I want some kind of Training Forest equivalent mode. And my idea for that was to have a specific year. So let's use the only example I could come up with because I'm, whatever. We have the stage, the 1989 boss stage. And when you click on that stage, you'll fight a series of bosses that occurred within the manga pages during that year. So Weekly Shonen Jump had a run 1989. All the chapters, all the issues in 1989, fights, big fights, iconic moments that occurred there play out in this stage. And the idea is you'd have filler stages so you can get your specials up, and then you've got a chance to face the big bad boss. And then it'll go through all the bosses, maybe 20 stages, whatever, I don't know if it would be the same as One Piece, I really don't. But let's say 1989. Now, there's lots of good series back in 1989. Bastard was going on, I think. Saint Seiya. That Kochi Kame obviously going on because it's been going on for fucking, 100 years now. But you could also have two very key fights that happened this year. One fight that happened in March, Joseph Joestar versus Cars. That was in like the early half of the year. And then in the late half of the year, Goku versus Vegeta happened in August. So you could have these series of fights, and then like the big poster boy fights like Goku versus Vegeta could be like one of the last ones, and then you get some kind of reward, like a special scene just from that year, like a 5-star scene of like Goku versus Vegeta or something like that. I'm kind of rambling on, but like I'm hoping I'm getting my point across here.
Oh, you are. It's very enjoyable to listen to, I'm not gonna
lie. What else was I gonna say? Oh yeah. So with the scenes, what I would like to see is a set day each month that we get a new batch of scenes. Because, like I said earlier, I'm already getting dupes. I'm already getting a lot of dupes. And, I can deal with that. But, like, think about how long fucking Shonen Jump has been going on for. How many scenes, how many iconic scenes they must have to pick from. At least give me, like, a certain amount. Maybe, like, 50 a month. They don't even have to be good. You can just make 1-star scenes of just like the corner of a panel that nobody read, and I'd be okay with it because I just like keep me engaged. As long as the 5-star scenes and the 4-star scenes are the big boy blockbusters, I'm okay. I'm happy. That works for me, So want the influx of scenes. What else haven't I talked about? With the raids and the fortnights. Because we don't have villains in this game, I feel like maybe if we had villains in the fortnights or the raids, it would be something similar to you fight cars to farm copies of some shitty version of Joseph Joestar, or copies of Speedwagon, or someone like that. And, I'm okay with that. I think me and Terry both agree, seeing villains actually playable would be a hell of a lot cooler. So what I propose is, with fortnights, with raids, I'd like to see that be the place where we see villain drops. Like, if you're not going to make them, droppable from the gacha, give us stages where we can farm copies of Cars, or Kira, or Dio, or, someone from a show that's not JoJo. Vegeta, the basketball man. What's his name?
Volleyball man.
Akashi, I think his name is, from Kuroko no Basket. Fuck, my brain is fucking melting. What's his name? Shigaraki Tamura from My Hero Academia. And, just people that realistically are iconic villains. I know it's great to fight against them, let me play as them.
Yeah,
Even if
please.
they're farmable, even if they're free to play, they are as big a part of these series as, you know, the show, like the main characters themselves. In some shows, the the
They're
enemy
better.
is more iconic, you know? Like, what the fuck did Josuke do in part 4? But Kira, though. Kira.
Yeah, don't get me started on Kira.
Don't get Terry started on Kira. But, you know, I think, in general, I'm happy with where we started. It's not even been a week.
Yeah.
As of recording this, it's not even been a week. By the time we get this video out, everything I said could be completely irrelevant nonsense.
Yeah, 3 months from now.
3 months from now. But, you know, I think I've, in general, got what I wanted to say about this game across. And I think, you know, we're both excited by the prospect. At the moment, it's just potential. That's all there is to it. But I don't know. I'm quite happy. You?
Oh, yeah, no, like, I think it presents itself well so far. It looks like they got a clear goal with the game, and obviously they got a lot to work from the other gacha games and that. So I'm hoping they won't make some of the big mistakes of the other games. They haven't made many mistakes at the moment. And really, the sky's the limit for this game. There is just so much they could do with it. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I mean, like, you think about series like Dokkan, you know, and they have stuff like the Dragon Balls as collectibles in certain stages or whatever. Maybe in certain game modes, certain items could drop from a specific series that you could collect and trade in for something. You know? Keep me engaged by adding things into the game that maybe I don't expect coming as well. Like, don't just do the same thing all the other games are doing. You know, like, keep it up. Keep doing what you're doing is good. Keep doing, you know, the standard, but throw some spice in there. You know, throw a little bit of spice. You know, because if you look at Naruto, like, it took Ninja Road, which is essentially it's basically the training forest for Naruto, but they made it so that you can actually farm shit from it. You're actually getting an exclusive character from it, and you're getting acquisition stones and stuff like that, and you're getting granny shop coins, which you can use for not just new characters but other stuff. They took what was already there and they put their own twist on it. And you could argue for days about the things that Naruto have done wrong, but they've done a lot of things right recently, especially with the limit break trials and stuff. And, you know, I just really think that some of the games kind of just do the same shit over and over. So when someone does do something unique, I can appreciate that.
Oh, yes.
I can really appreciate that. And with Dokkan, I'll be honest. I'll be brutally honest. It's all just the same shit. It's just the same shit over and over.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fun. It's a fun game, and it's cool to get all the collectibles and stuff. But I know full well when I'm pulling for Goku, when I'm pulling for Vegeta and that Super Saiyan 4 banner on Global, or even when I was pulling for Gogeta and Janemba a couple of months back, I knew that the second we got all the 120% leads, they were just going to move on from this meta, and nothing I did would mean anything. Now, they give you the stones for that, so they're a bit more generous than One Piece, and that's great and all. But, you know, I just don't like the idea of people just doing the same shit over and over. And don't give me that bullshit that they gave me on One Piece, where they were like, yeah, we're releasing the same raids but a different colour. I don't care if some of them are marginally improved. That's great and all. I already farmed my Dofi. You want me to farm it again? Okay, well, Dofi's a useful unit. Having more sockets is good. Having a different type is interesting. But fucking Aokiji? Get out of here! I didn't care about him in the first place. You want me to farm him again?
And
Are
Pika.
you crazy? Like, well, Pika's fucking shit as well. I farmed like 5 copies total, I think, when he came around. And, you know, it gets me a little bit riled up, because this is the game that's asking me to spend my money on it. Like, I get that they do their thing where it's like the filler banner and the new banner. They do that every month. That's their style. They can keep going with that. I'm fine with that. But with the gameplay changes, you've got to spice it up. We've got this Admiral event coming, which will be out by the time this video's out. I'm hoping that's spicy. But the reality is, it's probably going to be like the Dokkan World Tournament. The top, like, 5 to 10% will just be cheaters. And then all the other people that actually win good rewards will have fucking no life. and then there's you. Then there's you in the trash below. Or,
I'm below the trash.
Unless you're one of the guys with no life who's just gonna wail the shit out of it. In which case, good
Fuck
luck
you.
to you, my friend. Enjoy your shitty reward. Although to be fair, supposedly the reward is like a guaranteed legend.
Is it a new legend though?
No. Well, we don't know. But probably not. Now, I did have an idea a long time ago, or a long time ago, in a video that I never actually made, which was if they were ever going to do gift legends, to do legends that have different artwork that are of a different type but provide the same service. So, for instance, you know, if they were going to release a new legend Zorro, and it was the same unit because it's Zorro. It's a different artwork of Zorro. Maybe it's the Zorro that actually beats Pika, where he's got his headband tied around his head.
Ooh.
And he's got his black swords, right? That Zorro. So it's different artwork, a different type, but let's make him strength, because he's big boy. He's a big boy, he's strong, right? And instead of boosting slashes, maybe have him boost ambition. Or have him boost, like, something else. I don't know. And, like,
Spice it up.
essentially have him producing the same service, but just very slightly different. And, you know, I've said before about, I don't know why we're getting into One Piece, but I've said before about Strongworld Shanks, give him a 6-star plus and just make him Aokiji but yellow. Not Aokiji, Akainu. Make him Akainu but yellow. And I'm happy. That does it for me, I'm happy. Will they do that? I don't know. Probably not. But, you know, my thing is that with these games, a lot of the things they add in, they're still trying to be stingy. You know, One Piece is adding in this new game mode, but only certain people are going to actually win the rewards. And if it's a stage that costs stamina, that means people are going to have to gem for stamina in order to get the higher points. So they're actually making all their money back. All the money they would have made, like, off a gacha with that legend in it, they're just getting the money through stamina gems instead.
Crafty bastards.
It's crafty, but it's, you know, it's what Dokkan's been doing for a long time, and, you know, it's a recycled idea to steal your money. I don't really want to see that in Ore Collection. You know, I've really preferred the way Bleach has handled stuff like PvP and you know, instead of rankings, it's like a points event. It's up to you.
I love those.
You get the points, and if you get enough points, well done, you win. But, you know, if I'm competing against other people and they're just going to shit on me all weekend because they're just better than me, or have better units, or are cheating, or
no
are
life,
cunts, or have no life, then it's just going to make me feel bad, you know? I don't want to
feel bad.
I don't want to feel bad. I want to feel good. That's what these games are for. It's those little bursts of happiness you get from pulling a new unit, from maxing a new unit, from, you know, just achieving something that you couldn't do before, like beating a stage that was quite difficult. That's what a new training forest, definitely. You know, it's all these games. That's what they thrive off of. That's what makes me like want to come back to these games and spend money on these games. So I need Ore Collection to do that, and I need it to stay away from that dark, negative shit. Which, yes, you know, you can do well in the World Tournament. If you do, you will be happy. You'll feel great. But if you think about the Dokkan World Tournament, that's the top 10,000. That's the top 10,000. And I know there's a lot of dead accounts on Dokkan, but we're on like 19 million? 19 million accounts. And only the top 10,000 get the goodies?
That's not right.
Come on. That's not on. That's like, what's that, top 1%? I don't know, I don't do math no more. But
My brain don't work no more.
my brain don't work no more. But my thing is, like, in a game like this, make it challenging, make the stages difficult, make it competitive, make me have to grind. That's all okay. But the second it's like, somebody else grinded a little bit harder than you, so fuck you. That's just, that makes me sad.
Yeah,
I don't
like
want that.
It's supposed to be about your experience, not theirs.
Well, that's what this game is. It's your collection. It's your manga. You're a manga artist. You're making these manga panels. You're making these fights happen. So make it about me. Don't make it about these other fuckers. I don't care about them. And if you're going to put a PvP element in, do it the way Bleach did it. Or do it in your own way. but don't make me hate myself.
Again.
Because, even on Bleach, it's challenging, but because there's no active control element to it, even though I'm competing against other people, it just comes down to me. Did I beat enough of the AI? Did I try? And if I did, then it's all good. And if I didn't, well, I didn't deserve to go through, so that's fine too. But on Dokkan, it's like, you're not in the top 10,000. Fuck you. Fuck you and everything you stand for, because you don't deserve to get this shitty World Tournament unit that isn't even that good. You get some guaranteed SSR tickets, but they're shit as well. But that's a discussion for another day. I think to end up on Ori Collection, what I will say is, you're doing a lot of things right. If the developers are listening, which they're not, but if they are, you're doing a lot of things right. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep bringing out some tasty content. Don't be afraid to try new things, even if it goes wrong. And just like find my videos of me playing the 7 Deadly Sins game, and just don't do any of what they did, because that game don't exist no more. So avoid everything they did, and we good. And I will say, right, a lot of people complain about the rates on Dokkan and One Piece. The rates on that game were a pile of steaming shit. That game's dead now. So let that be a lesson to you developers. It's better to reward your players for playing and bring out lots of premium units, and make it easy to get some of them, but maybe not all of them. Same way Dokkan does it. It's better to do it that way than to just fucking shit on your fans who have invested money in your game by not giving them anything that they want, and just stealing all their money. Yeah. So I think that's some good closing thoughts. I have rambled for a solid 40 minutes there, something like that.
I'll let that be the Robert show, pretty much. Yeah,
but I let you go your way, and I kind of try to carry on from that, and maybe you can tell a bit too far.
Robert's a little bit passionate about this game, as you can tell. He's had a lot riled up to talk about.
I'm passionate because I want it to do well. There's so many games I've played over the years that I have invested my money in and stuff, and they fucked me. You think about FIFA. I know you've had a bad experience with FIFA.
Oh, you don't say.
Have I. As has basically everyone that's ever opened packs on the game, except the guys that got big on YouTube off of it. It doesn't reward you that much for spending your money. It really doesn't. In general, you will get fucked for spending your money, and
it's just off-putting. You don't want to play the game no more.
You don't want to play the game no more.
At this moment, this game hasn't given me a 5-star yet, but I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. Hopefully, I'll get 5 stars over time. If it's stingy rates, I'll never pull a 5-star. I'm going back to Diamond Records.
Yeah, Diamond Records is oh boy, that's a whole other thing. That's one thing I forgot to say about this game, but I really did need to say. It runs so well, which is good. Out of the box, it ran so well. I know there were people that had errors with connections and stuff, and that's gonna happen in the first week. But the actual gameplay and the actual loading times and stuff, I haven't really had any problems. There wasn't even a big massive download like there is with One Piece. I know there's not a lot of content yet, but whatever. I'm happy that it's doing it this way and not the One Piece way. The One Piece way makes me angry.
The bad way.
The FIFA way makes me really angry. The Battlefield way makes me not want to play video games anymore. But let's end it there. I think I'm gonna ramble on for way too long. Let us know in the comments, what are your thoughts on this game so far? What improvements would you like to see? What characters would you like to be added? And most importantly, if you've got this far in the video, what's a word they can put in the comments?
Spunk.
Type spunk in your comments somewhere, and we'll know you got all the way to the end. But yeah, that's going to do it from me, Scarface King. That's going to do it from him, Mr. Teacups, and we'll see you all next time.
Goodbye. Weekly, according to Robert.
If you edit them, yeah?
Oh, fuck, kill me. End the video.